Hi there, my name is Alistair Slowly, and today I'll be talking about dot voting. So what do you do in a situation where you're trying to figure out a team's priorities? Well, dot voting is a very useful and popular method in the Agile community for figuring out the priorities of a team. So let's say, for example, you're in a situation where you're crowdsourcing your backlog for a team. Or perhaps you're in a retrospective situation where you're talking about stuff the team can do to improve. But you have to figure out which things to prioritize. Well, dot voting is a great democratic way to figure out what the team wants to do, be it a backlog or be it retrospective stuff. So what you do is you have every individual in the team come up with their ideas. You write each idea, just like a user story, on a sticky note, and you put it up on the wall, you put it up on a whiteboard just like this. In this case, we have 10 items. Once you've gone through the process where you've figured out what the team wants to do, for example, PBIs, and you've written them down on sticky notes, one item per sticky note, you can then proceed to the dot voting process. In general, as the facilitator, as a Scrum Master, I like to take the total number of items and divide them by 2 and maybe add a smidge. In this case, we have 10 items, so I would take half of that and say, guys, you have 5 plus maybe 1, 6 votes. And the team members get to vote using those votes for the stuff they think is important. So you tell the team, hey guys, you have 6 votes. You can distribute the votes however you want, but you vote for the stuff you think is important. You can put 6 votes on one item if you think it's really, really important, or you can put 1 vote on 6 items if you have a lot of different stuff you're interested in. And then you give the team about 5 minutes or so to come up to the board or come up to the wall and dot vote for the stuff they care about. So this is what it looks like in practice. Hey team, come on and do your 6 votes, and people will come up to the board all together as a group. You don't need to do it individually. And they put dots on the sticky notes, or maybe even hash marks next to the sticky notes if you're using a whiteboard, to indicate what they think is important. In this case, this person puts 1 vote here, maybe 2 votes here, a vote there, and because they really like number 7, 2 votes here. And as every person on the team comes up and dot votes or hash votes or whatever you want to call it, you end up with a number of votes per item. Once all the dot voting has taken place, the Scrum Master, the facilitator, comes up to the board, comes up to the sticky notes, and they add up all the votes for the items. Something like this might look typical. We have 8 votes here, 10 here, 0 here, 4 there, 3 here, 12 here, 4, maybe 0 and 0, and maybe 3 here. And then it's just a simple matter when you come to the prioritization part for the facilitator, for the Scrum Master, to prioritize based on the number of votes the items got. And you just reorder the items. In this case, the most voted for item was number 6. It is now your new number 1. The next item is number 2. The next item is number 1, etc. And you just go down the list and reprioritize based on the votes. It's a really great method of figuring out priorities on the fly. In fact, this technique is so common, there are even tools out there to help you with your dot voting. For example, dotvoting.org, which is a website which enables distributed teams to do geographically distributed and time-displaced dot voting. Well, thanks very much for listening, and happy dot voting.